Pokemon fans from across Long Island and the tri-state area gathered by the hundreds at the LI TCG show's Chu Brew event at the Great South Bay Brewery in Bayshore, New York. Signing autographs was Tara Sands, the artist that voiced over 50 Pokemon characters, most notably Bulbasaur.
It's crazy because when we started working on Pokemon a gazillion years ago, we had no idea the impact it was going to have on people. And I mean, I'm just a very small cog in that wheel, but nostalgia for them is so strong. They grew up with this show. This was in their living room. This was their babysitter. This was their childhood. And that's why there's so many people at this convention today.
What characters did you voice?
I talked a lot during Pokemon. I worked on other shows during the time, but Pokemon's the one I did the most characters on. So I played over, I have a cheat sheet I can show you.
Yeah, bring up that cheat sheet.
There's probably some that are missing, but Bulbasaur is the one people mostly care about. Bulbasaur. But again, I had no idea that that would be the role I'd be talking about. Like I was excited to do speaking roles on the show. I didn't know people were going to mostly care about the characters with one word.
Out of that entire sheet, why Bulbasaur?
It's a lot because of the game, because kids, when they started playing that game, got to choose between the 3 starters, which I think is cool because it like empowered kids to make a choice. So I always say the smartest kids chose Bulbasaur. They didn't all, but whatever. And also because of his connection with Ash on the cartoon.
Like when people come to you, you know, what kind of stories are they sharing with you?
The personal stuff is so meaningful. Like they'll say like, oh, I was going through a hard time and my parents gave me some Pokemon cards and I was able to trade with some kids at school and make new friends, or the cartoon was what I looked forward to every day after school. I was a latchkey kid and that's what I was excited about. Just like, or my parents were going through a divorce and I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! And it made me feel better, whatever it is. And people are so kind and generous to share their stories with me, and I'm just here representing, again, like I feel like it's the people behind the scenes who did so much work on these shows, but if I can be here so they can tell their stories and makes them feel better, I'm happy to do it.
You travel the world now.
Oh yeah. Well, I have traveled the world. It's amazing. Like I've been to New Zealand, Japan, London, and Scotland, all over the place, because these fans are everywhere. It's really very cool, and it's funny to me that they watch these shows with American accents. But I am doing a lot of them. I don't even know how many. We have to be invited, so if I get invited, I try to make it work, because it's just really, there's nothing better.
When we worked on this, you know, our target was kids 6 to 11, the little tykes. They're drinking beer now. They're over 21.
Isn't it crazy? Well, that's the thing. That's the nostalgia factor. It's like, but what's so cool is it's multi-generational now. So I have those people who grew up with it with their kids who are watching it now. And it's beautiful. I'm gonna cry. It's really sweet.
When I was talking to Meowth, Meowth was the only one that actually had full conversations.
He's the only Pokemon that spoke. There is Mewtwo, I believe, in a certain form spoke. There's some like exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, Meowth was the one.
So none of your friends asked you to speak to their children in Bulbasaur?
Well, it happens all the time. I did it last week. My friend said, I'm at a birthday party. Can answer the phone as Bulbasaur. So my phone rang, I'm like, Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur. So I sang happy birthday as Bulbasaur. Yeah, I felt ridiculous, but I did it.
What you can say is Bulbasaur.
It's kind of fun though, because then I don't have to come up with anything, you know, on the spot. I can just be like, Bulbasaur, sorry, Bulbasaur. It can mean whatever you want. It's like we were the original I Am Groot. So.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
What can we follow you? Where can we find you?
Tara Sands VO.
Thank you.
No, and listen to my interview with Waldo Cabrera at 4Kids Flashback. He's fascinating.